Hi, my name is Madhavi Shankar. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SpaceBasic. Thank you, Public TV, for having me here today, and I'm happy to talk to students about startup management. Now, in my experience, I think startup is something that you learn to manage or you learn to run on the job. But I'm happy here to talk to you about what are some of the courses or some of the streams, etc. you could pick that could help you manage or rather build a startup. Now, just like you guys, a couple of years ago, I would attend workshops like this to understand what am I going to do after engineering. After engineering, I did end up doing my master's, and I worked for an early stage startup for a couple of years before I started my own company. Now, with the learnings from my degree, plus the experience that I've had with my previous company and the company I'm building today, SpaceBasic, I'm here to talk to you about some things that I wish I knew as a student, that really could help me, that I've learned today. Now, just to touch upon a couple of things, right? I would say that always remember, when you're picking a course or when you're picking a subject for your startup, it's not so much to get a job and get placed, but it's more about self-learning and kind of really thinking about how are you going to utilize these skills. So the first thing I would say is business foundation. Now, business foundation is important because, when you have an idea to start a company or to solve a problem, you need a framework or you need a structure that will help and tell you if this problem is worth solving, if are you solving the right problem? Will you be able, is it too expensive to solve a problem like this, etc. So what a business framework will do is it'll give you the tools required to really, put a business plan together, to look at what data points you should look at, what factors, etc. So any course that you do, it need not be entrepreneurship management per se. Any course, any general management course, if you do decide doing, and at some point you want to start a company, make sure that they have a course which revolves around business foundation. Now, after establishing that you have a business or establishing that you have an idea that could turn into a business, the second thing that you want to do is figure out if it's going to make money, and and how much is it cost? How much is it going to cost? So unit economics is another stream or is another subject that you absolutely must pick as an elective, because finance and finance models is so important and kind of really the backbone of building a successful company or a successful startup. Now, when I say unit economics, some of the things that you need to know or some of the things that will get you, a head start is an eye for numbers. So how much is it going to take to build your prototype? How much is it going to cost to acquire your first customer? What is your projections for the next 1 year, etc. So having just touched upon or learned these things in your management course around economics or around kind of financial modeling, I believe is another important factor to kind of accommodate, that will help you build and manage your company when you do decide to pursue it. Now, in my opinion, I think one of the most important, I would say, topics or subjects I wish I learned back in the day as a student would be around human resource and behavioral science. Now, when I say human resource and behavioral science, what I mean by that is the ability to understand people, the ability to kind of think of how to respond in a situation, how do you kind of react, how to get somebody to help you or kind of build a team, what does it take, etc. So I think learning about how to respond and learning how to interact is such an important soft skill that is usually kind of developed on the job, but understanding the theory part of it and really implementing it in your day-to-day life, you don't have to wait till you to start a company to do that, but just incorporating whatever you learn in your course of human resource or behavioral science in your day-to-day will really will give that muscle, the right kind of exercise it needs to build when you decide to start a company. So really understanding how to work with people, building a culture, etc., comes with effective ways to communicate and read personalities. And I think having a course that kind of highlights that in your degree is definitely, a very underrated but a must-have skill for entrepreneurs. My fourth, I would say my fourth course or subject that you should pick would be negotiation skills. That's something I'm still learning. It's something that some people would say that comes naturally to us Indians, but I think the power of negotiation is something that it's an art, and being able to do that as entrepreneurs, we're doing that every day with customers, with employees, with investors, with potential opportunities. So the art of negotiation, if there's any course around that, along with building, community building, networking, soft skills, attending events like this, etc. If we are able to kind of incorporate that as a practical part of the course, I believe that any course that is built to incorporate things, the 5 points, which is business foundation, unit economics, human resource, as well as behavioral science, negotiation, and community building as a part of the course, I believe will give you the right ammo you need to really, get a head start when you're starting a company. Now, apart from that, I think some of the core requirements as an entrepreneur definitely is to have a risk appetite. Now, if you don't have a risk appetite, it's really hard to navigate because there's so many uncertainties. I don't think there is a textbook definition of how to successfully run a company, but picking the right course, picking the right streams, the right subjects to learn definitely will help you have a competitive edge over other first-time entrepreneurs who necessarily don't have have not learned about this. Now, along with that, if you're able to kind of, start working at an early stage company where you can build these skills along with getting mentors, etc., I think then you're definitely set up for success when you do decide to run a company. So in my opinion, if we are able to kind of, when you're looking for a startup management or an entrepreneurship 101 course, it is important that you look at, what soft skills, what community building they have, what business, courses they have, as well as unit economics. I would definitely stress upon that. So this is my learning so far with, running my company as well as working in previous companies. And I wish, I had these learnings when I started SpaceBasic. So thank you so much for listening.